in an era of freakishly destroyed feminists and soy boys on the right, Tradcons as well as reality deniers on the left. Be a guy like this that doesn't deny objective reality. Ben Shapiro, this is what you're missing. There's a new era of man being created. And it's being created by objective parameters of success, which through sheer comparison will hold every single loser accountable to the point of driving them insane. We're already seeing this on the left. Total divorcing from reality. But we're seeing people on the right losing their mind as well. It's crazy. Bro, I am so excited for this. My YouTube channel is definitely just going to get censored even more for this, even though I don't even know how it's possible, considering that my videos get 4 views in like the first 10 minutes and then like no more views after that for hours and hours. It's super weird. But yeah, so we're already censored. We're already in jail, but it's okay because we're not stopping. I am excited because we have... Let's go! Wes is in the building with Fresh and Fit. I've been thinking to myself, saying, guys, Fresh and Fit, bring on Wes. Ever since the notorious, and I should say glorious, panel where he just eviscerated the Tradcon, talking about how men that essentially deny objective aspects of male competition are complete losers. Men who say, oh, physicality doesn't matter, or oh, money doesn't matter. Things that, if you're an ambitious guy who doesn't hate reality, you're trying to better yourself in these categories you're trying to better yourself in. And for a while there, I was worried that Fresh and Fit would not bring on this absolute legend, but he's finally on the show. A lot of people, a lot of Tradcons, a lot of losers. I'll close chat in case somebody says something. It is a YouTube chat, but, you know, whatever. When I made that video calling out Andrew Wilson for completely being a coward, a loser, an intellectual freak, and his inability to contend with this legend, it got me a lot of hate on YouTube. It got me like a dozen subscribers that really agreed with me, but I'm finally glad that this guy is being added into the discourse. And as a matter of fact, there's a video that I was going to analyze that just came out of him. Guys, this guy bought a Bugatti. This guy bought a $5 million car. Bro, he bought an orange Bugatti. Tradcons will never intellectually recover from this. But on a serious level, this actually symbolizes what they are failing to grasp, which is that masculine performance isn't limited to starting a family and buying a cheap piece of land with a couple of acres and saying that you've succeeded at your masculine conquest. No, that is pathetic. Men that think that that's sufficient, you should be ashamed of yourself. I understand that there are a lot of 40-year-olds, 35-year-olds, maybe even people older than their 40s that are triggered when they hear that because they don't have the opportunities that I had. They don't have the internet. They don't have, you know, the will and the drive and the goals to achieve more than they've achieved. But my generation finds the story that Ben Shapiro is telling them, the story that Matt Walsh is telling them, extremely uncompelling. And I'm so glad that Fresh and Fit have decided to bring this guy on because I was worried that they were a little bit like too much on the side of the Tradcons there with Andrew Wilson, or that they would be insecure of this guy who makes like $100,000 a day. But I'm glad that that's not the case. Let's get into this.
Say we sell a course even though we don't.
Exactly. Yeah, even if we don't. And so what they're saying, because they've already made up in their mind, you know, in their heads, they've already made up their minds that I'm going to take this course, I'm going to read this book, I'm going to do these things, these step-by-step things that this guy is selling me, and if I don't get that effect like overnight, then fuck these guys.
Yeah.
The thing is,
right, there's a deep incentive. That's the guy that wrote the Rational Mail, by the way. There's a deep incentive for losers to remain losers, to justify their inability to take responsibility for their lives. Anyway, let's hear what he's about to say.
We all kind of just address the masses of idiots too much, and that's what they want.
Yes.
The whole thing is they're so fucking stupid. They want to just be contrarians for attention. They don't even want a result.
Yes.
They just want to go against what the successful people are doing so they can get fucking attention.
Yes.
You see why? Do you see why, guys? You see why? Bro, you see why? You see why right now? There's a reason the losers are deformed. They can't stand masculine performance just like leftists can't stand masculine performance. We see leftists having a mental full-on crisis, a breakdown over a 3-time Super Bowl champion NFL guy who has a perfectly like trimmed beard and apparently a full-time hairstylist, when he goes on stage and says women are not going to be fulfilled by pursuing careers, the meaning of their life is going to come from having a family, also men need to be unapologetically masculine, don't listen to people demonizing masculinity, and then they lose their minds on X for 72 hours in a row.
So you should not even address them. Like, there's only going to be 1% of people that sign up for something that actually do it, and the rest are just pussies. And you should.
It's like the guys that go to the gym. I'm not going to give up going to the gym, but if I were to give up, it would be my fault.
Call them that when they fail. It's just like you shouldn't be like you should. There's you know how many fucking entrepreneurs that like post their before and after photos of them getting in shape, and they're almost like a participation trophy having fat little kid. It's like, bro, you're still a man. Your before and after pics have to be.
I want to remind everybody, this guy owns a Bugatti, okay? This guy makes Andrew Tate level money. Men are being psyoped into hating the attributes of masculinity that would deliver them from the circumstance of our crumbling society, namely their ambition.
Be the quality of other men. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're exiled from getting a six-pack, you fucking pussy. And the thing is, they post them, and they're just because they have money, there's bodybuilders in the comments going, "Great job, you fat piece of shit." And it's like, dude, why are you guys applauding this guy? He hasn't done shit. He's just less fat. Like,
Good effort.
have it. Good effort.
He's just less
You
fat.
feel like a pussy.
So, for those of you who don't know, this guy's message was, I made 2 videos about him so far, and his message is very clear, which is that you have to be excellent in all domains. That's what he talks about. That includes family, that includes finances, that includes physical shape, that includes the car you drive, that includes the women that you're with. You should seek to better every aspect of your life. Now, obviously, losers will try to find any way to discredit this guy. They can't really find him any ways, and I think it's incredible he bought a Bugatti. That's going to make him really hard to ignore. Not many people can go around buying $5 million cars, you know what I mean? I mean, the men that I really admire, there's not many of them. There's Elon Musk, there's Andrew Tate, there's Jordan Peterson. I think this guy is, like, extremely, extremely impressive. Because he sort of is a guy who has my mentality. Maybe his IQ isn't quite as high. That might sound arrogant, but I think it's just accurate. But he's like 20 years ahead of me, maybe 30 years ahead of me. I have this exact same mindset. Every aspect of your life you should seek to improve. You don't just get a pass at a certain thing. And I think most men don't have this mindset because they're told they have to fit into a femme-centric society.
And giving you a fucking participation trophy. Well, look, he's trying. He's fucking 36 and worth $40 million, bro. Get a bicep vein popping and some abs, motherfucker. Jesus. Like, why are we gonna?
I agree.
Do you guys realize? Do you guys understand?
This is
that
funny.
by us,
But this isn't just comedy. If you're one of those guys that are like, yeah, I like Andrew Tate because he's funny, but you don't listen to anything he actually says, you are a loser. You are a failure. If you only find this guy funny, you're not listening to what he's saying. Improve in every way.
accommodating your shortcomings, we make you weaker. So everybody who has a problem with someone like me, I will just smack you so many times that you will forget that you're even able to even speak.
That's exactly what happened on stage with the Tradcon.
Until you have a result. And when you have one, when you have a result that I give a fuck about, guess what I'll do? I'll tell you, good fucking job. And it'll actually mean something. Because everybody is giving empty fucking validation.
Participation trophies, right? Yeah, everything has to be inclusive. We have to erode the notion of meritocracy and masculine competence because those concepts are discriminatory, as they require mechanisms like reason and rationality to define their existence.
To people, and Wes Watson will not. He will say, no, you're a bum fucking broke titty having bitch. Until you pull up in some real shit and show me a real result, I'm not gonna give you no props. And then when I do give someone props, they're like, hell yeah, that's genuine.
Let me explain something that I probably shouldn't have to explain. Within every single guy, we have the ability to immediately recognize what is real and what's not real. Nobody looks at well, maybe some people, but not many people look at Ben Shapiro and say, I want to be exactly like that guy. Nobody looks at Matt Walsh and says, I want to be exactly like that guy. People look at Andrew Tate and say, I want to have a life that resembles that. The same thing is true of this guy, Wes. And denying that is just cringe patheticness. I'm so tired of this cringe, pathetic shit.
It's become so disingenuous because they're afraid of getting fucking canceled or whatever the fuck. So they're just fucking kissing ass, and it's bullshit. I don't fucking like it. I won't.
But the thing is the censoring yourself doesn't even work anymore, because the communists at Google just look at you and say, oh, doesn't have blue hair, obviously obviously a bad person, and they just censor your channel. This channel, when I upload a video, I get like 4 views in the first 10 minutes, and then no views after that for like hours and hours and hours, and then I'm lucky if a video breaks through and gets a couple hundred. And I think that eventually we will break through just because I'm speaking such facts, but in fact, I know we will. And I'm also on X, so follow me on X. There's a lot less censorship on there. It's funny. My videos tend to get thousands of views on there, but only dozens on YouTube. Very interesting.
Do it. I'll go in someone's shit, and they're like, I'm on this fitness journey, and I'm like, people are watching, you better fucking do it. And everyone else is like, great job, Timmy. And like, and he's just like, yeah, I'm trying. And it's like, you're 37. And he's like,
True. I was watching a video the other day of this random YouTuber. He's like making a video with Bradley Martin. Bradley Martin's like, you look great. This guy, he's like 29 years old. He's tall, but I'm in better shape than him. It's like, dude, Brad, what are you doing here? This guy's clearly just doing it for the views. It's ridiculous.
like, yeah, I did good, right, guys? It's like, no, you didn't. Do you see what the normal people on my program do? They'll go from like being straight fat to fucking like dick skin vein ripped like a motherfucker. I bet you dick skin probably hurts all these little bitches in the chat. But I mean, the whole thing is like 100%.
Dick skin tight. I'm using that, stealing that.
100% stop giving people fucking validation or props over something that you don't really believe. Fuck them.
Have you ever seen this? There's a great movie. It's called Whiplash. Have you ever seen Whiplash?
I had this old chick who used to call it Whip Flash. I'm like, how stupid are you?
It was this great movie about this one kid.
It's good to acknowledge that trying is the correct thing to do, but we shouldn't be giving out participation trophies. Completely different mentalities.
Who wants to become the best jazz drummer ever, like Buddy Rich. That's what he wants to be. Wes, his ass making his hands bleed. Like the Gen Zers who would watch this movie, they go, "Oh, this is abusive." How
state of this
and
world? Abuse is not words.
There's one point in
that's what women say.
The best line in the movie is like he's talking to like Mr. Fitch is talking to
fucking they are
because he really wanted him to become the best, because if that's what you want and you're committed to that, then I'm going to kick your ass into the...
supposed to do what I'm telling you, motherfucker. I'm not going to applaud you for doing what's right.
I don't think enough people realize how much investment you have to have in yourself to go from ordinary to extraordinary.
Oh, yeah. To get to the next level, even though it's just like 1% difference, it takes a ridiculous amount of work.
Dude, I'm going to fast forward so that I can get to the best part, because I want to go to the gym after this, and it's closing in an hour and a half. So.
Win once. Yeah, you can win once. Like, that's pretty easy. You can win a couple times. But to keep fucking winning over and over and just compiling on...
I want to acknowledge right here, because I know these guys, because I know a decent amount about these guys. Wes is essentially a titan compared to all these guys. He's a lot richer than all of them. And so, as much as he's talking to us, he's also talking to the other guys sitting at that table. And he's not just more financially successful than them. He's probably better shape than them. He's just at a higher level. I mean, he bought a Bugatti, $5 million car. So it's really interesting to see this. I think we're looking at an Andrew Tate type level person here.
Top of each other. The only thing that takes is for you to never stop. And people really think it's a hack. These business...
That watch he's wearing costs like $1 million.
These guys come into coaching and they're like, so, like, what system are you using? I'm like, I talk to everybody. They're like, well, how are you selling so much? I'm like... impacted every single person that signed up for my program's life. They're like, it's like a foreign topic to them that you've actually done something for them on the front hand before they signed up. They're like, they're worried about making content. One of my clients comes in, he's like, I just got to get better at speaking. I'm like, no, you don't, you fucking idiot. Did I teach you anything? I'm like, you need to get the fuck out of the way. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I showed you a process of removal to tap into a message coming from above that's more powerful than all these lames on the planet combined. You're supposed to guide them. As soon as you tap into this message and you follow it wholeheartedly, which I call conscience congruency, God speaking to you and supplying your path. As soon as
basically just understanding what objective truth is and then not being afraid to embody it and speak it. Very simple. I think that it's intuitive. Well, it's intuitive to me, but every person has the capability to know what's right, know what's true, and embody the truth.
You do that, you get the fuck out of the way.
Because when you embody the truth, that's the best version of yourself, by the way. That's like a formula that is derivative of reality. When you embody the truth, you are the best version of yourself.
And you do will be perfect. And people are like, They just don't even understand that. They think it's them still. It's not you. You need to get out of the way and be a vessel for a message that's going to solve a lot of problems down here. And in all reality, I get so much criticism because I'm the solution to all these pussy problems.
Correct.
All these.
Yeah, it's so obvious, and it's actually mind-boggling for me as like a 23-year-old that wants to improve myself in all these ways and is working to. And I am getting closer to accomplishing everything that I want every single day. But for me to look around and see other people that are my age or older than me, meaning they have less time, to be tearing down men like this, it boggles my mind. It makes me think, so then what's your goal? What are you trying to do exactly? What are you serving? What do you want? Like, so you're arguing to be a loser. You're trying to be worse. You are telling yourself fake nihilistic stories about reality to justify your failure. That's how weak people on the right are, and I thought that was only people on the left. I think there's a lot more people on the left, obviously, because Marxism quite literally teaches people to deny objective frameworks. But then I see people on the right getting triggered at Wes for some reason just because, what, he wears a watch that costs more than your parents' net worth? Because he's in better shape than you? I have freak shows in my comments that, like, message me every single day. They're like, Wes is a loser, Wes is a loser. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be like you, buddy. Do you not see yourself? It's just insane. It's completely insane.
Soft men. The biggest problem is soft men. Straight up.
Agreed.
And guys, I'm living in a generation where I feel like just existing, if I log onto the internet, if I go on Amazon Prime, if I log into HBO, if I do anything, if I walk outside, if I go to the grocery store, I'm bombarded with a femme-centric message that it's better to be soft. Oh, it's better to tap in with your emotions. What defines your virtue is an intersectionalist matrices, which says if you're a black woman, you're automatically superior. The more victimized you are, the better of a person. What I'm saying is, the world that I'm currently existing in and living through works tirelessly to make men more feminized, to destroy the masculine spirit, overtly and covertly. And so it's actually difficult when you're constantly resisting psychological operations against you. And then you have losers that are adding to it. They see all those messages, they're aware of it, like most conservatives claim to be. Oh, we're aware of the psychological operations against men. We're aware that the left likes to demonize masculinity because Marxism has made feminists resentful. In the same way they demand class resentment against, white men and black women, or economic disparities, or gender identities, or whatever. But then they continue to add to it when they say, no, you shouldn't become impressive and high status. What's going on there, Ben Shapiro? What's going on there, Daily Wire? What's going on there? I'm not going to say Brett Cooper because, she doesn't have to live up to the same standard of masculine ambition that ambitious men have, right? But it just makes no sense.
Honestly, I don't like 99.9% of people. But this is the thing. I had to start creating
Let's go!
people that I respected. So my goal, even in prison, was to create people that I respect. And that's all I'm doing still. I'm so triggered and so
Right.
bothered by how big of pussies everyone is that I have to create people that I can genuinely look at and say, I respect this man right here, and not have.
That's so relatable, but for me on intellectual grounds. It's basically, I remember going through a time when I could not listen to any person speak besides Jordan Peterson without becoming immensely annoyed. I still struggle with that to a degree to some extent. I think people should realize exactly how inadequate their minds are, how little they've decided to care about objective truth and educate themselves. It's embarrassing. It's completely embarrassing.
Fake. So everyone I don't respect, I tell the truth to. I don't fucking like anything that you do. Fuck you. And then the people that actually follow the type of beliefs that I have, that I believe aren't even a choice. These are like universal truths for all men. It's not something that we can even. People are like, do you have any regrets? You don't get to choose what you regret or not. These are like truths for all men that it's instilled in their fucking DNA and their soul that they want to be this way. They're drawn to be this way. But the whole point is what I'm saying is I had to create people I respect. Because it's very hard to just run across someone who's like, oh, this dude gets it fully.
It's hard.
So I just, like, even my wife the other day was saying, I don't have anyone I can really learn from. I'm like, you're the new teacher. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're going to have to create people and build people up. And that's what self-transcendence is. But once you fully transcend self and you realize you've put the work in for a very long time, your next job, either you're going to sit there and critique everyone around you and it's going to erode your mindset and your mood's going to just always be pessimistic, or
Wow, this is so interesting. From an intellectual standpoint, I fully relate to this.
or you're going to take it upon yourself, extreme accountability, to change what's in those people so that you can genuinely respect them. And most people are just massive liars. They don't respect much about themselves or people around.
This is exactly the reason why I'm sharing my analysis. Because it got to the point, by the time I was 18 or 19, I was so much smarter than every single person that I was speaking to. I mean, they just had no idea what was going on around them. They had no coherent or sophisticated formulation for reality. It was quite literally painful for a long time. And then I shifted my mindset to, given what I understand, what sort of value can I provide exposing the forces of degeneracy, especially stemming from left-wing ideological principles being rebranded from the 20th century? Because I spent so much time and effort into understanding the problem. And then when I understood the problem fully, I'm like, okay, but society's not fixing this.